A busy Saturday in the USL Championship brings us to Louisville, Kentucky, where tonight Lou City takes on Birmingham Legion at Lynn Family Stadium, brought to you by the Community Foundation of Louisville. Alongside former Manchester United goalkeeper Gary Bailey, Jack Edwards here with you in the broadcast booth on ESPN+. We can start things off by looking at the standings in the Eastern Conference. 12 matches, all unbeaten for Lou City. They have 28 points, with Birmingham on 10, trying to climb themselves up the table closer to that playoff line. Just 2 wins so far this season. For Lou City, it's been a great year so far, most notably on the defensive side of things, conceding just 7 goals so far through 12 matches.
It's a real team effort with Lou City. Everybody plays their part, from the forwards, Philip Goodram closing down the midfield, the goalkeeper, you name it, somebody is doing a defensive job for Lou City. So difficult to beat.
He's played every minute so far this season. On the other side of things now, for the Birmingham Legion, 3 different men have led them so far. Tom Sohn let go earlier in the year. Now Mark Briggs in for his 7th overall match, trying to add another win to that total.
And I'm sure he will bring them around to be successful. He's been so successful himself. He knows what's needed. Already they've seen some real positive changes, but today is a big one. It's a massive test, and he will get to find out which players are really up for the fight, because they're going to be under some big pressure against Lou City.
One of those players who could potentially stand out is Ronaldo Damas. Has 7 goals so far this season, and it leads the team.
Wonderfully talented player, very quick, can get behind the back line, and he'll be ably supported by Preston Taborda, who's a bigger, sort of more physical player. I think that combination up front might work very well for Birmingham Legion, but Lou City will have to keep an eye on this man. He is a good goal scorer.
Sets up for a good matchup between these two teams. A first meeting since back in March. It was a 1-1 draw when they met in Alabama. We've got lineups, we've got kickoff on the other side of this break between Lou City and the Birmingham Legion here on ESPN+.
There's a reason why Toyota is America's best-selling retail brand. It's the quality, dependability, and reliability that you expect from Toyota. And that starts right here in the USA, where Toyota has invested over $49 billion into 11 different manufacturing plants, including the newest one, a battery plant for its electrified vehicles. There are now 13 different Toyotas built in the USA, with more on the way. America drives Toyota. Let's go places.
Summer is heating up with beach vacations, road trips, backyard barbecues, and fireworks. So fuel your summer with MyCard, only from Commonwealth Credit Union. MyCard gives you 3 points for every dollar you spend on transportation and travel, and 1.5 points for everything else, all with no annual fee, no foreign transaction fees. Don't have MyCard? Don't flip out. Flip the balance with a balance transfer and fuel your summer with MyCard, only from Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
This is Lynn Family Stadium's premium club area. You come in here on a game day, it's an all-exclusive experience with food and drink. You get to see the team come out.
Have you heard of Brian Ownby?
Oh, yeah.
His speed on the pitch is...
I'll be out there in a sec. Feeling a little slow today.
We know Candace will be watching, and you can too. Watch Louisville City all season long on WBKI and on WDRB+.
We have some viewer hot takes on their morning routine.
The first thing I do in the morning is check my phone.
I have to check the phone just to make sure that I hit the snooze button.
I was gonna say, a couple times, right?
You go to bang, 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 yeah.
Who are those people that get up on the first alarm?
No, they're crazy people.
I don't understand that.
They're lunatics.
Hello, I'm here to remind you to tune into WDRB Mornings, Monday till 10, for your out-the-door local news, weather, and traffic.
The players taking the field at Lynn Family Stadium. Louisville City FC taking on the Birmingham Legion. Alongside Gary Bailey, Jack Edwards here with you. We can look at our starting lineups for the match, brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. Third match in a week for Lou City, and they make 3 changes from their 2-1 win over Rhode Island.
Yeah, Manny Perez comes in, so does Evan Davila and Jansen Wilson out. Aidan McFadden, Kevin Lambert, who left the pitch early in the last game, and Adrian Perez. Good width on this side, out with Perez on one side, Dia, Wilson, Serrano. See a lot of attacks coming from out wide.
3 matches in a week for Lou City. It's been a while since Birmingham played. They last played on June 4th. They make 3 changes from that 1-0 defeat against Indy 11.
Famol Kavita in, Kobe Hernandez-Foster and Preston Tabor-Taka. Out go Tyler Pasha, McKillerton and Trejo. It's a 3-4-3 there with Enzo Martinez, who's been around a while and can still do the business, pulling the strings there in that number 10 role.
Birmingham Legion, that's how they line up here today. Lou City at home, the players on the field. Mark Verso is our head official for this second meeting of the season between Lou City and Birmingham. 7th match overall in charge of the Legion for Mark Briggs, up against a coach in person he knows quite well from their time at the Real Monarchs. Danny Cruz ended his playing career there, began his coaching career there. And it's an early attack here, clipped in for Manny Perez, keeps it alive, and it goes into the grateful hands of Fernando Delgado for Birmingham after an early attack from the home side.
Some good defending there from Birmingham Legion as well. That ball right into the heart of the box, and just get a block on that and allows the goalkeeper to scoop that ball up. A little bit of a warning there from Lou City. Nice and early on for Birmingham. You're going to be in for a torrid afternoon. And I've no doubt that Mark Briggs will be quite happy about this game, because he'll get to test his players under difficult circumstances and see which ones he wants to build his team around going forward, and which players he feels just don't have the heart for the big fight.
Throw in here for Lou City. So Martinez, the captain for the visiting side, the last one to touch it. Throw in far side of the field. Has been a busy week. Gary, in that lineup you mentioned, Evan Davila coming into the midfield. His brother Taylor has his pass blocked there. It was an unplanned change. They made 8 minutes into the match. Kevin Lambert was the midfield change from the match against Tampa Bay. Felt Evan Davila was a very strong performer in that midfield, but he came out of the lineup for physicality and strength from set pieces for Kevin Lambert, but he picked up an injury within 8 minutes. So in came Evan Davila yet again. And to see out the entire match, Danny Cruz feeling it shows to his mental strength that he's able to come in cold just 7 minutes into a game and perform as well as he did on Wednesday.
They did a fantastic job there, but it helps to be in a team that is so well structured, so well organized. They trust in each other. As we said earlier on, they defend as a group. And again, Mark Briggs, he's so experienced, he's been so successful. He will have put this Lou City team out as a reminder to his Birmingham side of this is a standard you need to achieve. And here's a chance nice and early on in Mark Briggs' tenure for his team to stand up and take on the best, one of the best in the league anyway, and just see how they compare.
Yeah, that word standard is what Mark Briggs mentioned, raising the standards at Birmingham. Coming off that defeat, they had his first 2 wins with him in charge before that. Damas whips one in, takes a big looping deflection off the head of Kyle Adams for the first corner of the match. And there is Danny Cruz, the 2024 USL Championship Coach of the Year. Season number 5 for him at the helm. His team will have to focus up defensively from this set piece. Damas trying to cause some chaos from that one. Which will go forward. And swinger is driven in, and Adams able to get ahead to it. It's kept in the mix. Wilson gets ahead to it. There's a slight bump in the back. That's going to be a foul and a free kick at the edge of the 18 for Birmingham. Commonwealth Credit Union. To learn more about how we could help you meet your financial goals, visit WeSeeYouDifferently.com.
It's interesting with Danny Cruz, as you were talking about him a moment ago, but he played for Mark Briggs in 2017 at the Real Monarchs, so they're very close, very, very good friends, speak to each other regularly, And huge respect both ways. I think Mark Briggs saying, we'll be the best of friends before the game, best of friends afterwards. But he said, for 90 or so minutes, we're going to be fighting each other. And that's what you do in this game. Yep. You put the friendship aside.
Challenge from behind, a foul by Manny Perez, one of those changes. He comes back into the lineup. He missed the match against Tampa Bay with injury, was a substitute against Rhode Island, and he's back in the starting lineup. Just shows the trust that Danny Cruz has in him, because Aiden McFadden scored the first goal as the right wing back in that 2-1 draw with Rhode Island.
And there's so much quality in the Lou City side. You can move players around, you can keep them fighting against each other. The three that don't seem to move around a lot are the back three, Tosh, Ordonez and Carl Adams, along with Lass behind them. They want that continuity at the back, but the others, they just give them a constant reminder that there's somebody else waiting in the wings to take your place if you're not up to scratch.
Ordonez shows some very good strength. Taylor Davila plays it forward to Wilson. He goes down. He did win a free kick just past halfway. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of Lou City. Get all of your Lou City tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Adams trying to spray one forward for Ray Serrano, who scored the winner on Wednesday, but the pass angles out of play. It's a throw-in for the visiting side. Ray Serrano is in his 8th professional season, which feels remarkable to say at 23 years of age. But in his career, he has not scored in 3 consecutive matches. He scored the 2nd goal against Tampa, scored the 2nd goal against Rhode Island. Both were match winners. He tries to do something for the first time in his career. He's scoring 3 straight.
He's done well. Last year he scored 8 goals the entire season. He's got 5 already, Ray Serrano. You just feel that he's upped his game this last season and this part of this season. He really has gone from a fringe player who used to come on and, you know, battle and try and maybe get the odd goal to someone who really impacts a match. And that's credit to him to have matured into such a good player.
For some of the outgoings in the offseason, Elijah Winder to LA Galaxy. Also having Wilson Harris heading to Maccabi Petah Tikva. Both big transfers for the club. They lost some of those key performers, and Ray Serrano was one of the natural players to continue to step up. And he's done so far this season. 5 goals in the championship. Here's Damas. He has 5 as well himself. Centrally for Hernandez Foster. Kavita. Adams under the pressure of Tibor Titaka goes back to Damian Loss. No nonsense from the goalkeeper, just puts it out of play. Damian Loss mentioned in the open, joint most clean sheets in the season. There's Mark Briggs helping in recycling things. Championship Coach of the Year. He has joined the side quite recently, coming in on April 30th. It's the 7th match overall in charge.
His record so far, 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. But I think you already see a spark in this team. And they did so well under Thompson for so long, but they just seem to run out of gas. And he's arrived, and you know he will get the best out of them, because if they don't perform, he will find others who will. That's how good Mark Briggs is.
Last year was the first year in club history that Birmingham did not make the playoffs. So a slow start this year, but they moved on from the only coach they had ever had in Tom Sohn. There's Adams over with a bit of possession here. Ordonez to Tosh. This one just rolled back. Birmingham all the way to Fernando Delgado. Sprays one forward. Tibor Titaka loses out on the header to Kyle Adams. Amadou Dia. Captain plays it along. Taylor Davila. Angled pass over the top. Picks out Goodram. He's got Ray Serrano. Goodram goes down off the ball. He's quickly back up to his feet, and the referee actually will whistle for a foul, and a free kick was playing advantage. And now it's a set-piece opportunity for Lou City.
I'm looking forward to seeing this battle. Fanuel Kavita, he's a tough man. And Philip Goodram, he gets under the skin of defenders every game he plays. He looks for any weakness in his situation. There was a little bit of a push there. Whether it's necessitates a free kick is debatable, but that's what Philip Goodram will do.
It's a 5th-3rd free kick coming up after that foul from Kavita. Taylor Davila with the left, Ray Serrano with the right. Fernando Delgado, 18-year-old goalkeeper in net for the Legion. Referee worrying about some extra contact in the area before the delivery can take place. It's going to be Serrano who whips it in to the back post. Tosh down, blocked by Birmingham. Comes back to the center back. Very advanced position from this set piece. He plays it back to Amadou Dia. On his left foot, puts a dangerous ball in. It just evades the head of Arturo Ordonez. He feels that should be a corner kick. Referee points for a goal kick.
That's a good ball in initially. Tosh left unmarked at the far post. Everyone battling in the middle of the box. He's on his own. And it gets blocked. Comes back in again. And have a look at that there. Maybe he could have headed it a bit away from the goalkeeper, but still a good set piece, and just testing the 18-year-old keeper, which, to be fair, is what you do. When you're a young keeper, you must expect that the opposition are going to get in your face, bump you, and push you around, and just see whether you can man up to the occasion.
Delgado, not initially listed as the goalkeeper, but a pre-match change with Matt Van Oekel. You go from the 38-year-old Van Oekel to the 18-year-old Fernando Delgado. The flag's gone up for offside. The USL on ESPN2 gives us a Western Conference match between Lexington SC and last season's championship winner Colorado Springs Switchbacks, coming up on Friday, June 20th, 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Long ball forward, picks out an attacking option. Centeno, who's creeping forward to the end line. Did he keep it in play to win a corner? It appears that he did. There was an appeal there from Serrano that had crossed the end line. Should have been a goal kick. Set piece chance for Birmingham.
So the Birmingham side is unbeaten in their last 3 on the road, so I do think they're going to put up a fair old fight here today. And again, test Lou City, a team that so far unbeaten this season, which is an amazing achievement, and they want to keep that record going for as long as possible.
12 unbeaten so far this campaign, 18 overall in the regular season, stretching back to last year. Angle to the back post, the delivery out of play. And we'll do it all over again from the opposite side. Another corner coming for Birmingham.
Philip Goodram just doing some good defensive work at the back post as the fans cheer them on. As always, great support at Lynn Family Stadium, week in and week out.
I mentioned that road record for Birmingham last 3. It's a tough place to go at Lynn Family, especially when Louisville are coming off 2 wins at home already this week. Trying to make it a 9-point week. Another corner from Hernandez Foster. This one overhit. Forces Birmingham to reset here. Here's Turnbull. It's a pretty interesting pass through the middle. Comes to Dia. His clearance sliced. The throw-in comes here. Eric Centeno making a 3rd start of the season. Will take this throw-in. Join the side May 23rd. Started all 3 in all competitions. It's his 3rd start in the championship now since joining. Previously with Atlanta United 2. Brought him in as that right-sided wing back. They've moved Stephen Turnbull to the left for this match. He's coming off a great year with Rhode Island. 3 goals, 3 assists across 34 appearances in 2024. Tibor Titaka. Here's one in. Not quite able to link up with Ordonez. It's cleared away.
It's a good possession spell for Birmingham. They look comfortable on the ball. They look a well-organized side. And it suits Lou City. We were just talking about some of their stats. They play a lot better when they play as a defensive unit on the counter-attack. And it's just some crazy stats, because whenever I think of Lou City, I think of a team bombing forward and hammering the opposition. But they're actually far, far better when they don't have the majority of possession. When they have had the majority possession, they've had 3 draws, no wins. And when they haven't, they've had 8 wins and 1 draw. Go figure.
Yeah. It feels like it should be the opposite. When you have more of it, better off. But Lou City this season have seen the exact opposite be the trend for them. Right now, they're being outpossessed, 59-41. There's a shot from distance, deflected, and in the back of the net. Out of nothing, Birmingham stun Lynn Family Stadium and take a 1-0 lead.
That's tough for Damien Lass. That takes a wicked, wicked deflection. Goalkeeper goes one way, can't get back the other. And it's Edwin Lazo here has a rip from 25 yards, but you can see that horrible deflection. And, you know, we're just thinking about those stats of when you don't have possession, you win. But I'm thinking it doesn't make sense, because if someone's taking shots at you, eventually they get lucky, they get a penalty, they get a deflection. And in that moment, he gets the deflection. And that's what you get for taking chances against the opposition. So credit Birmingham. Now, big challenge. They've got to hold on to that lead.
Indeed. Briggs embracing with Lazo after that one. He started all 4 games since coming in from FC Tulsa and made a few sub appearances with them in 2025, but he's been trusted since coming into Birmingham, and he scores his first goal for his new side. Here's Louisville quickly in the attack. That one goes out for a throw-in deep inside the attacking half. Manny Perez, player winning it. That's commentators' curse to a T, talking about their strength when being outpossessed. And the first shot of the match for Birmingham finds the back of the net. It's 1-0 to the visitors.
I think there's a big difference between being outpossessed and allowing the opposition shots on target. I think that's very un-Lou City-like, and it just wasn't closed down quickly enough, Edwin Laza. But to be fair, it takes a wicked deflection, doesn't it? And but for that deflection, probably doesn't beat Damien Luss.
Nodded along, Delgado claims, keeps it in play. Fans, if Lou City wins, you win. This season, Lou City has partnered with Penn Station to give you a free sub with the purchase of another. The offer is valid the following day after a win. You can head to any participating Louisville area Penn Station location to redeem and say Lou City won at checkout, or use promo code LouBogo25 online. The previous 2 matches at home this season for Louisville, they hadn't trailed at any point. Led 2-0 against Tampa. Had 1 consolation goal they conceded. It was 1-1 in the first half against Rhode Island. Ray Serrano had a second half winner. They're down a goal here at home for the first time this week. Here is Serrano with 2 goals already this week. His delivery pushed away by Kavita. Evan Davila climbing for it, can't quite get there. Lazo brings it in. Angles a pass forward, and it is going to roll into the path of Ronaldo Damas. A drop of the shoulder, trying to beat Ordonez for pace. He puts the brakes on. Damas lays it in centrally. And a grateful Manny Perez can come onto this one. That wasn't a half bad chance for Birmingham, just not able to get contact.
It was a great chance there for Enzo Martinez at that near post, but what a good ball from Lazo. What a great run from Ronaldo Damas. That was top quality soccer there from Birmingham Legion, and even a team as good as Lou City couldn't really deal with that. In the end, Enzo Martinez just can't quite get a toe on it, but fantastic build-up from the visiting side.
It's a goal kick here for Birmingham.
This is what Ronaldo Damas can do with his pace, but Edwin Lazo, besides the goal, that was a lovely ball right down the line into a perfect bit of space. Ronaldo Damas slowed down, then suddenly accelerates and loses his marker, and then it was major problems for Lou City from that point onwards. So close to conceding a second goal.
Here's Centeno. Challenge put in there by Centeno. He brings down Dia, and he receives the match's first yellow card. And back We'll have to walk a tightrope for the next 70+ minutes after that foul.
Shakes his head ruefully for exactly the reason you mentioned. It's a long time to play and know that you can't dive in, you can't do anything, you can't tug a player back when they've broken free. You can't use any of those little tricks of the trade because you're on a yellow already, and he was well late too.
It's another 5th third free kick coming up here. City created a half-decent opportunity from their first free kick opportunity, was much closer towards goal. This one, a deeper bit of delivery. You mentioned testing the young goalkeeper Fernando Delgado. They haven't done that as of yet, making his championship debut this season. Season debut this year, made 2 appearances in 2024. He sees that one out. Spent a bit of time on loan with Real Monarchs, made 10 appearances at the MLS Next Pro level. Definitely in comparison to Matt Van Oekel, 20 years his senior, the usual starter in between the sticks for Birmingham. You can watch the USL Championship in Spanish on TUDN, the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Select matches will be available in Spanish throughout the rest of the season. You can go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings.
I was just thinking Matt Van Oekel, nearly 20 years older than young Fernando Delgado. There was talk about the father figure in the in the locker room. He really could be with that age gap. But what a fantastic example for Fernando to learn from, Matt Van Oekel. He's lasted so long because he's looked after his body. He's a top-class goalkeeper in this league. And hopefully he can pass on all his knowledge to the young 18-year-old.
This isn't the first appearance of his career for Delgado, but for a young goalkeeper, what are the important things at this stage of his career in this kind of match to have success?
A lot of it's just taking the pressure. You know, you're going to have errors, and if you make an error, you can't let it define your game. You've just got to, here we go.
Here's Wilson. He can't get a shot towards goal, blocked out. And it's going to spin kindly. Here comes a corner.
The second part is being able to organize. And, you know, youngsters often feel, I can't tell my senior center half where to stand. Yes, you can, and you tell him where to stand, and he listens. So you've got to be a real dominant, even at 18, dominant. There he is, love it. He's pointing fingers, he's telling people where to go. It's your job to organize so that you can come and catch the ball should it come near you.
They'll have to defend this corner coming up. It's a Wi-Fi corner kick. First of the match for Lou City. It'll be Taylor Davila, the man who will take. Whips it into the 6-yard box. Delgado able to get 2 hands to it. Turnbull, a bit of a heavy touch. Who did that touch last? A last touch Turnbull. Will do it again from that far side of the field.
Goalkeeper did well there. That was a tricky one. Just came over a bunch of heads, and he just got enough on it to get rid of it from the danger area. Now he's got to set himself up for another corner.
Another Wi-Fi corner kick coming up here. Turnbull can't believe that it's still the attacking third for Lou City. Davila will do it again.
Look at those bodies in front of the young goalkeeper as well.
Davila whips it into the same spot. This one not fully out of the 6 until now. Good work defensively and just a no-nonsense clearance upfield. Dia able to go back and we'll reset things here.
What a fantastic corner right in that area in front of the young goalkeeper. There must have been 8 or 9 bodies. It's almost impossible for him to get to it, and in the end they do well to clear their lines, Birmingham Legion, but a really difficult set piece to deal with.
Kavita, here's Martinez, leaves it for Turnbull. That one takes an awkward spin. Goodram goes down in the box. He's appealing that he was impeded. I think both players getting a lot of contact there. Likely good no call off the ball.
I think there was a bit of impeding from Philip Goodram because the ball was there for him to be won, and I think Santiago Suarez just got in his way, put out his arms and wouldn't let him pass. But does it reach a penalty? Probably not.
If it's a yard or 2 further out for a free kick, maybe it is.
Probably the free kick is given. Yeah, a risky play.
That one is a free kick. There's a foul for Lou City. This portion of tonight's match is presented by Toyota and the Kentuckiana Toyota dealers. Halfway through our first 45. Birmingham leading this match. It's a goal that's been given to Ronaldo Damas because it likely took a deflection off the forward. It was him who last touched it. In our hearts, we'll give it to Lazo.
Well, to me, that ball was heading for the goal anyway.
Here is Tabor Titaka. Gets it onto his right foot. Low shot saved by Las. Comes back to Tabor Titaka, and his shot sliced wide. 2 chances there for the forward. Both of them going relatively dangerously for the goalkeeper. First one saved, second one off target.
It's a decent effort. Damien Las has that covered, pushes it away from danger. But it just shows that Birmingham Legion are finding little opportunities here to expose Lou City. And Damien Las, too good a goalkeeper to be beaten easily. I can't believe that Damas gets credited with the goal that just hits him in his back when it was traveling to goal anyway. Surely it has to go with the striker of the ball.
There's striker's instincts there. He knew what he was doing.
He scored in the 1-1 draw, didn't he, Ronaldo Damas?
He did indeed. It was his first goal for Birmingham. Now it's his 6th in the championship.
It was just his lucky team to play against.
But poor Edwin Lazo, just an assist, his first assist for Birmingham, not his first goal.
If I was him, I'd contest it.
Serrano, a bit of a heavy touch, but no one there in Birmingham colors to immediately press. He kicks it off Martinez, and it rolls out for a throw-in.
And as much as Daniel Cruz would not be happy with this result as it is, I think he's happy with the test that's been put in front of his team, because they're going to get tested in the playoffs with situations like this. And he's a very forward-thinking coach. He's playing more defensive because he knows that when playoff time comes, that's how you win the playoffs. So he'll be looking at this going, okay, boys, now, what you going to do about it? How are you going to break them down? How are you going to avoid conceding a second? Imagine if this is a playoff match, and trying to avoid what happened against Rhode Island last year, when, having had a fantastic season, they got knocked out by Rhode Island.
That's why Wednesday's match was so significant. It was their first win against Rhode Island. They lost 5-2 against Rhode Island here at Lynn Family Stadium. They lost 3-0 here at Lynn Family Stadium against Rhode Island. They just had their number, and teams that could get on the break quickly had success against Louisville, and they weren't able to correct that. High scoring, but conceded too many in the end for a deep playoff run in 2024.
But certainly the stats were better than Rhode Island's, and I think that's important as well. The expected goals was double. They had more shots on target. They nearly had almost 3 times as many touches in the opposition box. I think when those stats happen, you've got a good chance of winning the game, but nonetheless, you've still got to be tight defensively, and that's what Daniel Cruz wants from his team. And why they won't panic. They'll look at this and then we have plenty of time to win this game. We're not going to do anything silly. We'll keep our structure. But Birmingham have shown so far that there's a possibility they cannot go on and get a second. They're not sitting back at all, and they certainly have exposed the defense of Lou City once or twice.
Pass can't quite pick out Serrano. Forward for Martinez. Turnbull making the run on the far side of the field. Turnbull returns it to Enzo Martinez. We've already seen one shot from distance find the net. This time it's moved along Jake Roof. Cavita. Here's Delgado. Lazo. Tosh gets the interception. Davila able to turn. Down holding his face is Edwin Lazo. Looks at the referee. Doesn't get a response. Perez low ball blocked, throw in coming for Lou City.
He's thinking he got an elbow or push in the face, and hard to see in the moment. Hard to even know if it was meant in any way.
Tosh will take this throw in. Few options circling around. Perez forward. Serrano comes short now and gives it back to the center back. Serrano delivers this one into the 6-yard box. Dia equalizes. A tidy finish from the left wing back. And we're all even again here in the 28th minute at Lynn Family Stadium.
Good ball in there. It's a pattern back from Damien Las, but good ball in, and he's just hovering at the near post. Gets ahead of his marker, so he has a chance to knock it over the goal line without too much pressure. Perhaps question marks about the defending for Birmingham Legion, but good play down the right-hand side. Ray Serrano just is aware of where Amadou Dia is, and then Eric Centeno is wrong side of him. Maybe didn't expect that ball to come in quickly. Let's give Ray Serrano huge credit for the awareness and the speed with which he plays that ball in. But Centeno didn't see Amadou Dia coming. He was going to take that ball away from danger. And Dia just nips in front of him to get the equalizer.
It's his second goal of the USL Championship season so far. Ray Serrano didn't even look up to the box, as this one's layered forward for Goodram, and Goodram takes the lead. A turnaround in 2 minutes. Dia in the 28th, Goodram in the 30th, and Lou City lead now 2-1.
That's just how good this Lou City side is. I don't think Danny Cruz had even got back to his seat from the first goal when the second one is scored. And they have been building up some pressure. Have a look again how it's built up here. Taylor Davila with the ball through. He sees the run of Philip Goodram. The young goalkeeper waits. Could he have got there? Difficult to say, but that's not on him. It's on the markers for Philip Goodram. They've let him go, and he just puts it between Fernando Delgado's legs. Good finish. Birmingham Legion, from going like they were looking in a very good position at 1-0 and asking questions, now 2-1 down. And Mark Briggs said, I want brave players. Well, they're going to have to be brave now.
What a turnaround. 2 minutes ago, it was 1-0 Birmingham. And the game has completely flipped on its head. Danny Cruz wants a foul. Hernandez Foster can't quite pick out Tibor Titaka. Here's Roof now. You mentioned, Gary, that Danny Cruz would have liked this test for Louisville to see how they responded. That's some response.
That's a brilliant response. And that's why I was saying a few minutes ago, they wouldn't panic, because they know they're capable of this. They know that opportunities will happen.
Here's Martinez. Thomas saved by Loss, cleared away by Ordonez. Serrano hooks it forward, completes the defensive move. Birmingham trying to respond in almost as quick fashion as they conceded to.
It's a good header, and it's a decent save from Damian Lass. Question marks. Normally those three in the center for Lou City, Tosh, Ordonez, and Adams, are just too powerful in the air, but little Ronaldo Damas out jumping them, beating them to the ball, and getting a decent header on target as well.
Welcome to the fans watching this game on WBKI, the official broadcast home for Louisville City FC. Jack Edwards, Gary Bailey here in the broadcast booth. 63 seconds separating the goals for Amadou Dia and Philip Goodram. He's following up a Ronaldo Damas opener. You see the save again here.
He's in front of Kyle Adams. Kyle Adams, you shouldn't get beaten by Ronaldo Damas there. Unfortunately, his goalkeeper bails him out. And certainly the attack of Birmingham Legions asked a few questions of Lou City in defense.
Martinez pulls off the nutmeg. You see Centeno, but his pass forces the wingback to retreat. He will keep it in play.
Just going back to the first goal, the equalizer, Centeno, not quite sure what he was doing. He just didn't seem to be aware that Amadou Dia was there, was allowing the ball to come through as if he could take it and start an attack, and Dia just popped in and toe poked it over the line. And that's not the best of defending. You've got to be aware of who's around you, but I credit Ray Serrano. He put it in so quickly that defenders didn't have a chance to get a look around. And that's what maybe exposed Eric Centeno.
There is Serrano. Swings one along to Sean Tosh. Perez. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big leagues, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select is the player's choice. It's a Birmingham throw-in. Much to the frustrations of Evan Davila. Hernandez Foster, first time, swings it along. It's Turnbull now. Turnbull A few big touches forward from the wing back to Martinez out wide. Low delivery blocked by Perez. Throw-in comes for the visiting team. Perez, a 10th start of the USL Championship season. 2 goals, 2 assists to his name. Up against the very experienced Enzo Martinez. His 11th start of the season. Just 1 goal so far for the Uruguayan. Gives throw-in duties over to Steven Turnbull. Martinez drives one in. Tosh, first time, clears it away. And it's a corner. Referee, no, throw-in rather, throw-in. Referee took a glance over to the assistant on the near side of the field, and Enzo Martinez disagrees with that call.
He's always going to disagree with it. That standard response. And they've got themselves in that tight corner there and causing Lou City a few problems. They just need to get the ball in the box, though, from that position.
Here's Turnbull trying that again. It's Tosh who rejects it. Yet another throw-in. Here's Wilson. Just boots it away. And the Delgado in the area to retrieve it.
Tough one for the young goalkeeper. Don't think he had any chance with either goal.
Yeah.
He was a bit exposed. Philip Goodram threw one-on-one, and the Amadou Dia one was, what, from 3-4 yards out. So nothing the young man could do.
Tosh gets ahead to it. Centeno is calling for it, and Turnbull will provide a ball out wide. Lazo. Swinging passes around here are Birmingham. Here's Martinez now. Driving it in to Damas. His touch eludes him a little. Dia can clear it away to Goodram. Pass there from Tosh, turns it over to Hernandez Foster. Martinez. Hernandez Foster cuts one back. No one to attack. There's a clash of heads. It's a foul by Turnbull against Goodram. Free kick for Lou City.
Goodram's so good at winning these free kicks. Whenever he goes into a collision, he has this ability to bounce off. It looks as if he's been hit or bumped. And as I say, he's a player who's so good at niggling the opposition, but he's very effective. He really is. And lucky to have him, Wilson Harris, not being around anymore. And they signed him possibly with that in mind.
Indeed.
In the middle of last season.
They were able to let him play not as the primary guy in 2024, get a sense of the system, begin to get more acclimated. This year he's got 4 goals now in the USL Championship. Right now the match winner as things stand in the first 45. Martinez just clears it upfield. Adams gets enough to move it to Ordonez. Tosh just boots it off the face of Damas. That's not a fun one.
That was not meant, and these things happen. Sean Tosh just apologizing. Never nice to get hit in the face, and always painful, but hopefully Ronaldo Damas will be fine. He's putting on some good pressure though, Damas, and he's trying to play this back to Ordonez. Bang! Right on the end of the nose.
That's how he's rewarded for his pressure. So a chance for a breather for both teams. What is the feeling for the coaches, you think, at this point, Gary, for Danny Cruz first for Louisville? Obviously coming back to bring things into the lead, you have to imagine he's quite pleased.
Oh, he must be very, very pleased, but they've been exposed a little bit in defense. I think he'll be saying tighten things up. You know, you've got to beat Ronaldo Damas to the cross ball. He's a real threat the whole time. And watch from midfield. There's been some good attacking moments from Edwin Lazo. Obviously, besides the deflector goal, a couple of other moments from Enzo Martinez. But for me, the biggest concern is that man in picture, Mark Briggs, is they're 2-1 down away from him. And 1-0 up, you're thinking, oh, are we going to give Lou City their first beating of the year? All of a sudden, it's 2-1, and you're thinking, okay, this mustn't turn into a hammering, which it can do at Lynn Family Stadium against this wonderful Lou City side. So he'll be pushing his players to keep it tight, keep pushing for the equalizer. Just don't allow Lou City to dominate.
It feels like an obvious statement, but the next goal in this match is obviously huge.
It is huge. I mean, obviously, if Lou City get it, it's going to be a mountain to climb for the away side. Birmingham get it, they're right back in it. But I think they're in it anyway. They're a good enough side. The question is, do they believe they're good enough? You know that Lou City believe. They can go 3-0 down, and I'd still put money on them to come back and at least get a draw. But for Birmingham, new coach trying to instill a new thinking, do they believe as much as Danny Cruz's side believe?
Damas will be out for a moment. The referee can wave him back in, and it was briefly 10-11. Dia plays it forward to Serrano. Davila returns it. There is Ray Serrano. Kavita read that one. Goodram goes down off the ball. Serrano picks the pocket of Lazo. Flipped over the top, aiming for Dia. A little overhit for the wingback. It's out for a goal kick.
You can see what Davila's trying to do is he's trying to get that ball behind the back forward, gets into the minds of the defenders. You're always looking over your shoulder at the space because a player like Taylor Davila can get into the space. I think the referee's saying something about don't kick the ball away.
I think that's what it was, yeah. No time wasting. He picked up the ball after it had gone out of play. The referee may be saying that's not necessary. Delgado restarts play. Adams gets ahead to it. Roof. It's flicked along. Tennis match of headers at the moment. Serrano flicks one forward. Kavita knocks it over his head. It's a foul from behind. Martinez fouled by Davila. And it's a free kick. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all of your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek. Your ticket to great seats. Davila to Tosh. Dia, Adams, Lazo, good strength. Here's Damas, lets it run across his body and moves it along to Martinez. Martinez pressed by Perez, coming back defensively. Here's Hernandez Foster, able to spray one out wide to Centeno. Centeno delivers, takes a big looping deflection. No nonsense from Damian Loss. That one was dropping into the net. He puts it out for a corner kick.
Yeah, I was a bit worried there for a moment. Was the goalkeeper difficult to see exactly where it was going to land? In that case, you always take the safety option, which is to just tip it over the crossbar. It's again good movement from Birmingham Legion. They move it from one side to the other. They look like they could become a really good side this season. And they haven't been disgraced in any sense of the imagination this first half. I think it's been a fairly even first half, to be fair.
Hernandez Foster to the back post. Roof can't quite keep it in play. It's out for a goal kick. What are the challenges for Mark Briggs? You come in on April 30th. You don't have, obviously, those first few matches, but also a preseason to get used to the squad. What are the difficulties for a coach coming in at that point of the campaign?
It's just getting to know your players. You know, which ones can play the style you want, which ones can deliver what you want. He knows what players bring success. He's been at Sac Republic, and before that he was successful. I think it was at Real Monarchs. So he knows which players have performed for him in the past, what type of player, what character. And that's what he wants to see, and that's why this game is so important. I would think for Mark Briggs today is, and what I've seen so far, this is a good performance by Birmingham Legion. They've gone toe-to-toe with Lou City. Yes, they've been caught with certainly one error, I think, from Eric Centeno, assuming that there was no Amadou Dia. The other one was just a very quick through ball from Taylor Davila to Philip Goodram. Good finish. But they certainly have put up a good fight. Now, I want to see what happens second half, because that's when teams can run out of steam and give up. You know, if you go 3-1 down, for example, Birmingham, does the white flag come up? And that's exactly what the new coach Mark Briggs wants his team to be tested, just to see how much real fight they have in them.
There's Martinez, and also for that second 45, this is blocked. Good defensive work, and Goodram knocks it home. A first half brace for Philip Goodram. And he doubles the advantage for Lou City right on the doorstep of halftime.
That goal just comes from perseverance, blocking clearances. Yes, you get a bit lucky on where the ball goes to, but who's the first one to get it? Philip Goodram. He's the one who reads that moment perfectly. This is the block on that. Taylor Davila with the block, but then he stretches and get it. Could the goalkeeper have dived on it? Not so sure. Kavita's trying to stay close, but first man to respond, Philip Goodram, and he gets the reward.
An instinctive finish from Goodram. He's got 2 first-half goals now. And it tears up the notes for both of the coaches. A much different game at 3-1 now. Goodram, who entered the day with 3 goals in the championship. He was acquired for a league record transfer fee last season from Tulsa mid-season. Didn't get going right away in 2024. A lot of talented players in that attacking group, but he's beginning to kick into life now. 5 goals, joint lead with Ray Serrano.
And that just comes from hard work. Taylor Davila just getting a block on the ball. It's not like the goals they've scored have been world-class goals, although they can score them as well, Lou City. But the first one's a ball whipped into the box quickly, some poor defending. The second one, you haven't even settled down, and Taylor Davila whips the ball through, and Philip Goodram's sharp and on the button for it. And the third one is just blocking clearance. But on each occasion, it's just the pressure and the quickness of Lou City that turns it into gold for them.
Kept in play, Goodram attacking it. Delgado able to gratefully see that one drop in front of him. May have hit the crossbar along the way. Stoppage time is presented by the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. There's 3 minutes added on at the end of our 45. Hernandez Foster has his touch knocked out of play.
Well, you're just saying the coach's notes have been ripped up. I certainly think Mark Briggs's one takes on a bigger element of, guys, at 2-1 we're close, but we can get back. At 3-1, you guys are going to have to go out now and fight. I want to see you battle for everything. I want to see you get a goal back. I want to see you get a point. He's going to set them a big task for the second half. And I think conversely, for Danny Cruz, it'll be, don't let them off the hook. Give it a 4th and a 5th. Bury them while you can.
It is going to be a foul. Ordonez on Ronaldo Damas. Assistant referee on the near side waving his flag for it. It's one of those off the ball where Damas is running for it. Unlikely he's going to be able to latch onto it, but a bit of physicality from Ordonez. Knocks down the forward. Referee has to whistle to restart play here.
It's such a hard one to know if a hand or an elbow in the face is meant or not. Referee just gets a quick view, probably so does the assistant ref, and a lot of times hands do come out. There's a big difference between a hand in the face accidentally and an elbow thrown in the face, and without VAR, very difficult to tell, to be honest.
So a little more than a minute and a half of the minimum remaining. That's a poor touch from Edwin Lazo. Here's Wilson. To slow things up there. We're in a ton of numbers forward. Taylor Davila now, he had the perseverance, as you mentioned, Gary. That was one of the assists. The other one, he slipped through for Goodram. So 2 first-half assists, picking out Philip Goodram for the back-to-back all-league first-team man, Taylor Davila. Wilson brings it down. 2 around him, though, in Birmingham colors. They win it back.
Brought it down well, didn't he? It was a long way away. He had to turn and watch for the flight of the ball. Kills it in the box. And as you say, 2 players, he couldn't get away from them. But little moments of class being shown by the Lou City players. It's got to be a good feeling in the locker room for Danny Cruz and his players to come back from 1-0 down and to dominate this game where they are now. Very impressive.
Tosh. It's a long throw in forward. Perez. Knocked over by Turnbull. Martinez has it taken off his foot. Lazo will just clip it along, and that'll end our first 45 minutes. Some quick final thoughts from you, Gary.
Wow, big second half coming up. I'm looking forward to it. Can Birmingham get themselves in this match, or are Lou City just going to swamp them and put them to the sword? Certainly it's a second half not to be missed.
First goal coming on a deflection from Ronaldo Damas. Made things 1-0 Birmingham, but then it was all Lou City. Amadou Dia, then a brace from Philip Goodram. means that Lou City lead 3-1 at the break. We'll get you a picture around the league as we enter into halftime. Our score, it's Lou City 3, Birmingham 1.
You ready to lose?
Oh, you wish. Let's go.
It's time to power up your old checking account. That's why Commonwealth Credit Union created Power Checking. This incredible all-in-one account powers your spending and with built-in high-yield savings, grows your balance at the same time. No minimums, no limits, just unparalleled benefits.
Best 2 out of 3.
Let's go.
Get to the next level with Power Checking, only from Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
I'm not going to tell you it's going to generate any severe at all. What I'm going to tell you is it has the ability to generate a rogue tornado.
After a tornado tore through Washington County, Kentucky this morning. The National Weather Service says that tornado was at least an EF2.
We found one 2-story home that was leveled after that tornado ripped through the area.
Slim chance of a tornado means there's still a chance, right? Somebody's going to get hit.
We were very clear on this potential because
See the WDRB Weather Advantage, working with you, for you.
I have always been a big news junkie, always looking for news instead of finding it on social media. That is why I use the WDRB News app. It's all the information right from your backyard. It's Louisville, it's Southern Indiana. It's also a lot of national news. So no more sifting, no more searching. It's all right here on the app.
Hello, I'm here to remind you to join us for WDRB Mornings Monday until 10 for Out the Door local news, weather, and traffic.
Halftime between Lou City and the Birmingham Legion. Lou City with 3 unanswered goals. They lead by 2 at the break. Jack Edwards alongside Gary Bailey here in the broadcast booth. Fans here at Lynn Family Stadium. We can look on for the next games for these two teams. First off, for Louisville, they've got a pair of road trips in the USL Championship at North Carolina and at Loudoun. That match at Loudoun should be very interesting. Then a match in the Jägermeister Cup against North Carolina before traveling to the reigning champs, Colorado Springs Switchbacks.
Yeah, some tough games. The one at Loudoun, as you say, is a clash of the teams near the top. Colorado Springs, the reigning champions, away from home. And FC Tulsa have been a surprise team this season. So some tricky matches coming up for the boys in purple.
It's also losing at the moment, but they're still top 3 in the West. As for Birmingham, the visitors in the match here today, they've got some games coming up. A pair at home against Sac Republic and the Oakland Roots, some Western Conference opponents. That'll be a good one for Sac Republic, former team for Mark Briggs. At Indy in the Jägermeister Cup, where they are 2 wins, no defeats. Charleston, and then at Rhode Island coming up for Birmingham.
And none of those easy. I mean, Charleston Battery, tough one. Rhode Island, of course. Indy 11, they just lost to. And as you mentioned, Sacramento Republic, his old side. So, yeah, look forward to those ones there, Birmingham Legion fans.
We can look back on the Player of the Month from May.
First touch, chance on goal. Out comes Peñaranda, but it's a simple tap in for the man in form. It's that man again, the number 13, Andy Cabrera. He can't stop scoring at the moment.
Avila again for Cabrera.
Andy Cabrera's brace in the 64th minute. El Paso on the board again.
This week on USL All Access, the greatest striker to ever play in the USL Championship, Cameron Lancaster, joins us, and we will break down their midweek matchup against Rhode Island FC. Is the Player Shield even a race anymore? We're going to give you a look at who our front runners are and who's got a possible outside chance of chasing down those 3 horses. And an ode to our owners, our general managers, and our presidents. Pay attention, the future is now.
the beach, and it was totally worth it. Stay 3 nights this summer at Best Western and get $50 off a future stay.
How does Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water keep you in the game? We always source our water directly from the natural spring to fuel every body, no matter how you like to move it. So whether you're chasing your goals or just staying active this summer, make sure to stay hydrated with Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water. Always bottled at the natural spring source.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Focus! Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Whatever it takes. Trusted for over 100 years. Tiger Balm's proven herbal blend tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger so that you can rise above pain. Let's make a Karate Kid. And get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Toyota gives you the power of choice with more electrified hybrid choices than anyone else.
Like this new all-hybrid Camry.
And the stylishly fun-to-drive Corolla. Now get 4.99 APR financing on a new 25 gas-powered Corolla or any new Camry. Lease a Corolla from $219 a month or Camry from $289 a month with 2 years no-cost maintenance included. That's the power of choice. Toyota, let's go places.
Halftime between Louisville and Birmingham. It's the home side who are up by 2 goals. A thrilling first 45. It's 3-1. We can look big picture across the USL Championship with our news and notes. Luis Alvarez setting an interleague transfer record, moving from the Independents to the Tampa Bay Rowdy. Sacramento also with a big bit of news. The City Council unanimously approving construction on a new 12,000 capacity privately funded stadium for the Republic. And for Las Vegas, a slow start to the season. They moved on from Antonio Nocerino after going winless through 6 in all competitions there.
Yeah, it was really struggling under a few of those matches, and they left that lovely sort of flowing football of last season to play a more defensive style. Didn't really seem to fit in with them, and after those losses, and they weren't just normal losses, they were losses by 4 and 5 goals. I think the hierarchy decided they wanted something more exciting for Vegas. Of course you would.
They'll play later tonight against Monterey Bay. They'll look at some scores happening across the country in the USL Championship. It's just gone final in Hartford. A 2-1 win for Charleston would have put them on level on points with Lou City, but they're currently 3 ahead with their active win. Loud and thrilling match, winning against Detroit. Late matches in Indy and Rhode Island. Currently Indy up. A late draw currently pending for Rhode Island and North Carolina, but Rhode Island, I believe, have scored a late winner that one. So perhaps a great moment for the home side, Rhode Island. We look at some more scores across the USL Championship. It's also late between Lexington and New Mexico. They've also scored late on to make it 2-1.
Hey,
a good result right there for them at home. Phoenix currently a goal up on the road to a very strong Tulsa side, a very strong Phoenix side, currently top of the West, and then 1-0 Miami on the road in Tampa.
Now, last year, if you'd have said Miami would be winning at Tampa, everyone would laugh. But now it's Tampa who's bottom, and Miami is in the middle of the table somewhere.
Miami looking quite strong. They're currently 6th in the East in the USL Championship. You can look at what else is still to come, and a very thrilling day in the USL Championship. Switchbacks, Roots, Locomotive, Orange County. And then there's that match for Las Vegas coming up on the Golazo Network against Monterey Bay, with Sac Republic and San Antonio rounding out the evening at 11 Eastern.
Yeah, Oakland Roots with a new coach in place there, so we wish them well and hope that he can turn things around for them. And El Paso, they're turning out to be the team of the season in the West.
5th in the West. It's been a thrilling season. It's been a thrilling day in Louisville. The home side up by 2 goals. Highlights on the other side of this break.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings with over $600 in digital coupons each week, plus up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Power up your summer fun with the power of choice. Toyota's lineup offers the most electrified hybrid and all-wheel drive choices out there, like the best-selling RAV4 and the super fuel-efficient RAV4 Hybrid. Now get 4.99 APR financing on a new 25 RAV4 or 5.99 on RAV4 Hybrid. Or lease this gas-powered RAV4 for $329 a month with 2 years no-cost maintenance included. That's the power of choice. Toyota, let's go places.
Summer with Toyota's power of choice.
Toyota's lineup offers the most electrified hybrid and all-wheel drive choices out there, like the family favorite Toyota Highlander or the bigger, more powerful Grand Highlander. Both are built right here in the USA. And now you can get a new 25 Highlander or Grand Highlander with 4.99 APR financing and get 2 years no-cost maintenance. That's the power of choice. Toyota, let's go places.
Lou City up 3-1 at Lynn Family Stadium. A thrilling first 45 minutes. We'll see what the second 45 has in store. Jack Edwards, Gary Bailey here with you. We can look at our highlights, and we'll see this one for Edwin Lazo. He just comes onto this and just has a pop from distance, takes a deflection off Ronaldo Damas. He gets credit for it, much to our, I guess, I don't know what the right word is. That should be Lazo's goal.
It's on target. I don't see how it can't be his. If it's going off target and then you head it on target, fine, it goes to Ronaldo Damas. But if I'm Edwin Lazo, I am not happy. But I'm happy we got the goal.
They scored that first goal. We'll dive more into our complaints on that in the second 45. 29 minutes in here. Look at that clock, 29 minutes. Serrano puts one in and Amadou Dia knocks it home.
Well done, Amadou Dia, but Eric Centeno, what are you doing? He hasn't seen him there. He's about to take the ball away from trouble. Defend first. And it was a good ball in from Ray Serrano, by the way.
So that's the 29th minute. We'll go now to the 30th minute. 63 seconds separate that goal and this moment. Davila picks his head up and slides it in for Goodram.
It's a good run from Goodram. Lovely ball played in, but they were trying to hold the line there in defense, and got to be better than that. Kavita reacting quite late through the goalkeeper's legs. And they always say, once you've been scored on, you've got 5 minutes to make sure nothing happens. And we got scored on a second time.
It's just 63 seconds separated. And then we were wondering, is this heading to halftime, 2-1? Taylor Davila just puts the press on. Big deflection and an instinctive finish from Philip Goodram.
He's there first. He's the bravest. He gets in there. The goalkeeper's waiting for his centre back, Kavita. Kavita's not sure he can get there. Philip Goodram deserves it because he was the first man to the ball.
It's a first half brace for Philip Goodram now. 5 goals on the season. Here are your first half stats, and they're interesting ones. 6-5 in shots for Louisville over Birmingham. 4 on target, 3 on target for Birmingham, who also holds an edge in possession.
Well, that's the most important one. We always said Lou City do better when they have less possession. So they got 43% is the most important thing. You can pretty much guarantee Lou City win if they can have that lower possession. If I'm Birmingham, I'm just giving them the ball for the second half.
If they swing that possession back in favor, maybe a draw is more probable. That was a great stat you mentioned. We talked to Danny Cruz about that. They have, on 3 occasions this season in the USL Championship, outpossessed their opponents, had the ball more often. They were all draws. They've won 8 of the 9 games where they've been like this. They've had less of the ball, and it shows. They've won the ball in dangerous spots and made things happen. Mark Verso is our head official. These two teams will play the second 45 minutes, second meeting of 2025, following up on a 1-1 draw in Birmingham in March. Drop of the shoulder by Kobe Hernandez Foster. He slides it forward to Enzo Martinez. Picks out Tabor Titaka. Trying to play it along to Ronaldo Damas. Good bit of footwork from Damas to evade 2 in Louisville colors. Louisville wearing their 3rd kits. More of a dark blue compared to their usual purple. There's a foul there. It's a free kick. What are the changes needed here for Mark Briggs and company for the Legion to try and get back into this match?
Just to be positive, to keep putting pressure on and try and get that goal back. I mean, if you're a neutral watching this game, you're hoping Birmingham get one goal. At 3-2, it becomes really exciting again. Right now, you fancy Lou City sort of pretty much have a stranglehold on this game. So they have to keep going forward, Birmingham. And they have a couple of options if things don't work out. Bring on Danny Trejo. Of course, we know what a good finisher he is. And they've got a couple of other options as well that Mark Briggs can bring on. And you've got to make changes if necessary to come up with a solution for that second half. They've got Sebastian Tregarthen, Uruguayan. They can throw him on. He scored a good goal from a tight angle in one of the previous matches. So there are options there for Mark Briggs.
There's a handball there from Ronaldo Damas, who has that goal.
Unfairly.
He knew absolutely nothing about that. It hit him in the face and a loop into the back of the net. This portion of tonight's match is presented by Toyota and the Kentuckiana Toyota dealers. It's one of those where if it deflects off a defender, it's obviously not an own goal. It's the player who shot it as Hernandez Foster darts in, commits the foul. But I think it's just whoever touches it last is the end verdict there.
The logic to me is the person who shot, it's heading for the goal. If it gets slightly deflected, to me it still belongs to the person who took the shot in the first place. But who cares what we think? As far as they're concerned, they were happy to get the goal. They just need a second and a third. That's their problem. And we talked about players they can bring off the bench, Birmingham Legion. What about Lou City again? I mean, Jake Morris, Adrian Perez, Adam McFadden, Carlos Mogul, good to see him back. Sam Gleadle. Come on, so much talent there. And that's the other problem with facing Lou City, is if you are on top and you're winning, they can bring so much firepower off the bench.
Knocked forward, Tibor Titaka trying to win it. Adams gets there first. Manny Perez takes a deflection. This is going to bounce out of play for a Birmingham throw-in. Lazo, his touch too heavy. Davila to Wilson. He'll be fouled there in the midfield. Frustration there from Thiago Suarez, but he commits the foul. Something we talked about at halftime, Gary. You mentioned those changes that Louisville can make. They're also dealing with a third match in a week and the impacts that has. Denny Cruz, when asked about how his squad is feeling, it's just the word he said was sore after 3 games now here today in 7 days. And Birmingham haven't played since June 4th. What impact could that have, just that gap in time for Birmingham compared to a lot of minutes under these players' legs for Louisville?
Well, they should be fresher going into the last 20 minutes. I mean, that you would think is the case, even if Lou City makes some changes, which almost certainly they'll do because of all these games they've been playing. But if I'm Mark Briggs, I'm expecting my team to have a more powerful second half because they haven't played for 10 days. They should have more gas in the tank. And I would expect them to be closing down and pushing forward and really being energetic. And that's what the coach, again, will be looking for from his new squad of players.
Briggs, of course, getting used to this side. He also brought in a few new faces. Eric Centeno brought in on May 23rd alongside Cameron Lacey, who's on the bench. He could be in line to make his USL Championship debut for Birmingham. And of course, Edwin Lasso transferred in on May 16th, and he's started all 5 games since coming in from Tulsa. So getting used to a new squad, but also feeling comfortable to begin to bring in some new faces and try and shake things up for the look that Mark Briggs wants to have for the side.
And one thing he will want from his team in the second half, I was looking through the stats in the first half, 41 duels, 70% were won by Lou City. And that's that sort of thing about the bravery, and I think we've seen already a few tackles flying in from Birmingham Legion because they've got to start winning some duels without giving away free kicks and yellow cards, just to say. Because their XG is only 0.12. They really haven't put much pressure on Damien Luss. He's had a few saves to make the keeper, but nothing that's really tested him other than the deflected goal.
sprayed out of play. It's a throw in here. And we mentioned those stats at halftime. It was 6-5 in shots in favor of Lou City, but the quality of those chances was much different. Dia point blank, Goodram one-on-one, and then you'd probably call it a one-on-one chance for his third goal as well, where he just brings it out of the sky. Their expected goals number is 1.18 for Louisville, even though they had just one more shot than there.
And yet they get 3 goals from that. And again, that's the special qualities of the likes of Philip Goodram. And you've got players who can finish off the way he does. You've got players who can put the ball in like Ray Serrano without having to look. They just know, they know where the danger areas are. That's quality.
Here's Turnbull. And this one forward. Ooh, that's a big collision there. Yellow card is going to be out for Tabor Titaka, and Kyle Adams is in a great deal of discomfort. Adamas is wisely moving Tabor Titaka out of the situation. He went into that one very strongly. Adams won it and took a good amount of contact in the process.
Yeah, it's the elbow and the head. It's if it had been shoulder to shoulder, it wouldn't have been that much of an issue. But just there, the elbow catches his head, and it wasn't meant. I think that's why Tabor Titaka was upset. Is he didn't mean to do it, but he's being told by the referee. Just got to be super careful. And I've no doubt that Mark Briggs has wound them up for the second half. He wants him to get stuck in. He wants him. Well, look at that night sky. Beautiful. And he wants them to be, you know, to leave their mark in the right way on Lou City. Nothing nasty, but just let them know they've been in a physical battle. And that's what when he talks about the bravery, this is what he wants to see in this next 45 minutes. But the careful thing is, you have to be brave and physical and strong without picking up the yellow cards.
It's great to see Adams back to his feet. That yellow card was presented by Bone Dry Roofing. Adams talking to the referee, Mark Verso. Two players booked now, Eric Centeno and Preston Tabor Titaka, both for Birmingham. It was a poor pass by Adams after he was fouled there. If you can't watch the match, you can turn on SiriusXM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, which includes USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus, you can hear live matches. That's a shot from distance, and Delgado parries it onto the bar. Jensen Wilson trying the spectacular. You can watch more matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on SiriusXM FC 157. And the new SiriusXM app, what a shot from Jensen Wilson. Trying to create something out of nothing, and Fernando Delgado, I think a great save by the goalkeeper to keep things at 3-1.
You don't want to go 4-1 down. 3-1's already a mountain. 4-1 makes it Everest. So important for Birmingham to be sensible in terms of when they attack. They need to be vigilant of when they lose the ball and transition. Have they got everybody picked up and marked up?
There's Suarez. Turnbull. Kavita. Dia gets ahead to it. Here's Roof. Mendez Foster sprays one wide. Manny Perez ahead to it. Wilson just knocks one upfield, one for Fernando Delgado to latch on to. The last time they combined was that shot from distance.
You see Jensen Wilson back doing defending. You see Philip Goodram sniffing there and causing problems. They do make it difficult for teams to get at them. Put in a fair old shift from midfield. Ray Serrano closing down now.
That was how Danny Cruz described it. There's a real pride they show in preventing shots and keeping clean sheets. It's a collective, and it's not just the defense. It is those forwards who press and track back. The midfielders who do the same. That's why they've been so good defensively this season. They've conceded 8 goals in the league. Lazo sprain one, instead rolls it along. Kavita.
And it wouldn't surprise me as well if Danny Cruz didn't say to them at halftime, you know, keep a second half clean sheet, if you know what I mean. You were only beaten by an unfortunate deflected shot, as we see a corner given. Hope he's okay. He crashed into the boards there.
Might have been a bit of an unfortunate one for Tabor Titaka, coming into collision with the boards after the challenge from Adams.
Just to finish that point, he would have said, Danny Cruz, keep a clean sheet second half. They were lucky to score against you. It was a deflected shot. It doesn't really count. These things happen, as we just see the tackle there. No malice, just a rollover and a slide, and not too much contact there. And that's how you set little achievements throughout the course of the game. You know, sometimes it's keep a clean sheet for the first 15. Sometimes it's get the extra goal. I think for him it'll be don't concede any in the second half, and then we win this by at least 3-1.
Centeno will be the man who takes this corner. Tabor Titaka getting a bit of treatment off the field. So it looks like they'll take this corner down a man temporarily. Centeno delivers, outswinger, Tosh, an important headed clearance. First time for Martinez, and it bounces up into the hands of Damian Las.
It's worth an effort there by Martinez. I didn't know if I took a deflection on the way, but Damian Las got the ball nonetheless. And that's the intention, Birmingham Legion. As a coach, you want to see them having shots, causing problems for Lou City in defense, being physical but within the limits of the law. Just letting them know you're around, letting them know they can't hold on to the ball for too long. Those are all the little things that Mark Briggs will be looking at in the second half.
Adams. Service from deep. Turnbull has to get something on it. Perez was lurking over his shoulder. It's knocked out of play. It's going to be a Wi-Fi corner kick coming up here for the home side. Taylor Davila will make his way over. For that wand of a left foot, he already has 2 assists today, doubling up his season tally entering the contest. Serrano is short. Davila delivers. Point blank, it's knocked home. It's a hat trick. Goodram knocks home another. Lou City are up 4-1. He scored 3 straight for the home side.
He positioned himself well in front of the young goalkeeper, and he needed a defender in front of him. They should have picked that up, Birmingham Legion, to get in front of Philip Goodram. When the ball comes in, young Fernando Delgado can't reach it. It's being marked by Ronaldo Damas as well. Not quite sure he's the right player to mark Goodram, but he gets up. Goalkeeper a little bit late to react. And exposed there, and yet Danny Cruz says thank you very much. He points, I think, probably to the set-piece coordinator there at the club who put that together. But Philip Goodram, class. He really has shown it this evening.
6 goals now on the season, a hat trick on the day for Philip Goodram. The man who's assisted all 3 of them, Taylor Davila.
Yep.
Got a very good connection. Here is one of those changes that Mark Briggs can make. It's Danny Trejo coming on for Preston Tabor Titaka. The forward was on a yellow card. Makes way here. He also was a little banged up after that collision with Kyle Adams. And so Danny Trejo comes on now, trying to add to his 1 goal so far this season for Birmingham in the USL Championship. That substitution brought to you by Kentucky Lottery. Fueling imagination, funding education, the Kentucky Lottery.
He's such a good player, Danny Trejo. I'm surprised he's only got the 1 goal. When he was at Phoenix, got 19 goals in 37 matches. That's just over a goal every 2 games. That's really impressive. Hasn't quite found that scoring touch here, but wouldn't they love him to get a couple of goals, because the scoreline is not looking good for Birmingham. When we chatted, or when Mark Briggs did chat to our team, He said, if you don't play Lou City the right way, if you're not on a good day, so to speak, his words were, you'll get destroyed. And right now, 4-1 is looking like it's heading in that direction.
Here's Martinez. Had Damas through the middle to play it to Hernandez Foster. He's got Trejo getting his first touches in a wide position. Here's Trejo rather on it. Damas lays it off. Hernandez Foster, another big deflection on a shot. And Loss able to claim it under the pressure of Steven Turnbull.
Damien Loss, such a solid keeper. We spoke about him in the build-up to this game, and it's another reason why it's so difficult to beat Lou City. That their back three is phenomenal, but they've got a wonderful goalkeeper behind them as well. So when you do get past those three big ones, you've still got to try and get past Damien Loss.
Here's Manny Perez. Perez driving it along. Big sliding challenge from behind. Hernandez Foster plays it forward to Danny Trejo. It's a good pass, trying to pick out Damas. It's cut off. There's a bit of a foul against Louisville. A bit of frustration there. It's a free kick for Birmingham. Well, Louisville ticket packages for the 2025 season are now live. And join the boys in purple all year long with season tickets starting at just $15 per game. Visit LouCity.com to learn more.
Lou City setting records as they do seem to set every year. Set one sort of record or another. This one unbeaten in the opening 12. I think you could probably say fairly safely unbeaten in the opening 13, the longest unbeaten opening run in club history. And every season we seem to sort of say something about a record that has to do with Lou City. It's either points or goals scored, or it's just an amazing club for their consistency of performance.
This year they may love that record to be goals conceded. It's been the focus they've had this year. This scoreline looks more like a 2024 Lou City match. When they played Birmingham on both occasions, they were high-scoring affairs for Lou City. When they last played in 2024 in June, it was at Protective Stadium. It was Louisville 4, Birmingham 1. When they played in March 2024, it was a 5-0 win for Lou City, with Wilson Harris picking up a brace on that occasion. That's why the 1-1 draw earlier this year was a welcome positive result for Birmingham to end a bad run. But this one looks like it's returning to the 2024 matches that they saw against this side. Davila, there's Tosh. Davila with Damas pressing from behind. Plays it to Wilson. Wilson takes a bit of a deflection. Spins to Centeno. Adams. Serrano driving to the defense, just gets mixed up with Goodram, but it comes to Wilson. Good defensive work by Kavita from behind. Now it's with Lazo. Under a lot of pressure, shows good composure and gets it to Martinez. Enzo Martinez with Damas to his left, Trejo to his right. He goes to Damas. That's a shot from distance. He has that kind of quality. Just off target. Out for a goal kick, and it's a chance for a triple change to come for Lou City. Aiden McFadden, Jake Morris, and Sam Glito will all come into the game. Amadou Dia, Manny Perez, and the hat-trick goal scorer, Philip Goodram, will all make way here. Not a bad day at the office of Philip Goodram.
Oh, fantastic performance, brave, quick to the ball, and nice little shake of hands there with the opposition. But this ball here, he beats the defense through the goalkeeper's legs That's just one of his finishes. It was top class. This one, the ball comes loose. Who's the first player to the ball? It's him sliding in, risking getting hit. And this one gets in front of the young goalkeeper, just exposes him, and that's probably something they're playing beforehand because it's a young, inexperienced keeper. Just get in front of him from set pieces and manages to head home. Wonderful performance all round there by Philip Goodram.
Had an embrace with his former Tulsa teammate, Edwin Lazo, as he came off the field. All of those substitutions brought to you by Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, funding education, the Kentucky Lottery.
And of course, coming off the fact this is their third match in the space of, what, 7 or 8 days, so they needed to rotate. Probably will rotate a few more. It's all shaking of hands now because from Blue City's point of view, there's no need to fight. The match is virtually done. You want to keep out of any aggressive situations. I'm not surprised they've changed both the wing backs, because these days in modern football, right wing backs, left wing backs do a lot of work. So Jake Morris and Aidan McFadden coming on just to give Manny Perez and Amadou Dia a bit of a break.
It's just a second appearance on the season for Morris. There's 2 more subs to come in now. They're for Birmingham. Thiago Suarez and Eric Santana will make way. AJ Patterson and Sebastian Tregarthen will both come into the match. It's a welcome return for AJ Patterson. It's a first appearance in the USL Championship so far this season. Made 28 last year, 1 goal, 3 assists in his first year with the Legion since coming in after a good career with Charleston. Made 110 appearances with the Battery from 2019 to 2023. So Patterson, who was juggling some injury issues this season, comes in for the first time. It's clipped over the top, aiming for Gleedle, one of those subs for Lou City, and he quickly earns a corner kick. Again, be Davila to take. He's been so good these last 2 years. I'll take a Wi-Fi corner kick here. In year number 1, 8 goals, 7 assists with Lou City. He's got 3 assists today. It's cleared away by Lazo. Now the first time, spectacular effort was blocked away. Second one spins. Lazo, strong challenge off the ball. Trejo gets there first. That's a challenge from behind. That's going to be a foul. That's going to be a yellow card shown to Sam Gleedle. It's a bone dry roofing yellow for the substitute. He's been involved since coming on. That one cautioned.
It's very quick to get a caution from Sam Gleedle. No need to slide there necessarily, but he wants to prove a point. He doesn't get that many opportunities, and if anything happened to Philip Goodram, you think he's going to be the guy who's going to have to lead that line. So they need to give him minutes. They need to get him into the groove and make sure that, if needed, he's at his peak performance.
It's been a challenge for Louisville to stay fit in those forward areas in recent weeks. They had the match against Monterey Bay where they did not feature many of their main options. No Goodram, no Gleedle. They didn't have an outright center forward. They moved Jansen Wilson into that central position. They won that match 2-0 in Seaside, California. They were able to juggle those issues. That's the kind of depth they have. And Gary, you mentioned that wing-back depth they have, able to rotate them. Jake Morris not quite able to get there. Potential delivery. It's low. It's pushed away by Tosh. And it's out for a throw. But Jake Morris is a guy they haven't had much this season. He made 34 appearances in 2024. In his first campaign with Lou City, he's made just 32 minutes in the USL Championship so far this year. Been challenging injury issues for him. But he's in now for a chance to double up on those minutes as Aidan McFadden, the other wingback sub, sprays a pass forward, aiming for Sam Gleedle on his bike. Forces Kavita into a challenge, knocks it out for a throw.
Yeah, good pressure. You win a throw in a good position. You can push everybody up, and there you go. Another option is to play in McFadden.
Tosh keeps it in play. Ordonez getting a little caught up there. A little bit of flair from Ordonez, returning it to Tosh, who knocks one upfield. Wilson. Here's Gleedle. Not quite able to get there first, and it falls to Trejo in the midfield. It's a nice bit of footwork from Trey Garthen. Starting to throw as he does. It's a Legion throw-in. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of Lou City. Get all of your Lou City tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. 70 minutes down, Philip Goodram, hat trick that separates the teams. Amadou Dia, the equalizer after Ronaldo Damas's deflected effort, we'll call it that. Knocking home a strike from distance from Edwin Lazo that opened the scoring, but it's been all Lou City since. A trend that we've talked about on the season where they get outpossessed and they still manage to win games. They have 41% possession, do Louisville, but they have 4 goals. And they appear to be 19 minutes plus stoppage time away from making it 13 unbeaten to start the campaign.
And this is a frustrating spell for Birmingham Legion because you know the opposition have effectively won the game. They've made some substitutions. They're basically in cruise mode, although Lou City is never real cruise mode. They're always pushing, but still, you need to affect the game, and then unable to do that, Birmingham Legion. They're really struggling to create opportunities. Their expected goals is just 0.23 over this entire match. For Lou City, it's 1.57, yet they've got 4 goals. It shows you how effective they are when they do get chances, but 0.23 for Birmingham, not what Mark Briggs will want. He just wants to see something, I guess, these last 20 minutes that show that there's a fire in the bellies of this Birmingham Legion side, and I'm not quite seeing enough here. I'm almost seeing an acceptance that, you know what, we're 4-1 down. That's pretty much where it's going to be.
Here's Trejo. He turns towards goal. Hernandez, Foster. Patterson. Martinez loses out to McFadden. Wilson playing one forward for Gleedle. He's a defender's nightmare as a sub. He's just coming onto the field, running his socks off, trying to get onto these long balls over the top. Samuel Kavita was happy to see the back of Philip Goodram as he came off. Only now to see Gleedle testing him over the top repeatedly.
Back to this whole thing about desire and what have you. Just looking at some of the tackles, there's been 12 tackles won by Lou City and just 3 by Birmingham. And they've got to do more. 60% of aerial duels have been won by Lou City. 61% of overall duels won by Lou City. You have to win those percentages if you want to beat a team as good as Lou City, because they're already stacked with talent. So the one place you can get at them potentially is to win more duels, and that they've won as well. So all the metrics, with the exception of possession, and they don't want to win the possession one. So in that sense, I guess they've won it by not winning it.
We asked Danny Cruz about that. He didn't say, oh, we want to get more possession, we want to change that stat around. He said, yep, that's perfectly fine by us. They can have more of the ball by 5–10%, and they'll have more of the goals. And they've done that in 8 out of the 12 matches so far this season. They haven't been bested in the USL Championship. They've looked incredibly clinical here today, despite being outpossessed almost 60–40 by the Legion. First time by Wilson. Stooping header by Kavita. Damas a flick on, aiming for Martinez. Tosh. Clearance forward. Hernandez, Foster. Damas on the turn. Good challenge put in by Arturo Ordonez. Lazo. Fans, it's time to vote on tonight's Lynn Family Vision Man of the Match. The poll will be open for the next 10 minutes. Vote now on the Lou City app. We see a change here for Adrian Perez coming into the match for Jansen Wilson. Wilson will make way. A solid effort from him. The substitution is presented by the Kentucky Lottery, fueling imagination, finding education. The Kentucky Lottery. Perez coming on for Wilson.
That's not a bad substitute to bring on, is
Nope.
it, Adrian
Nope.
Perez? I mean, that's the sort of battle you have when you face Lou City, is they don't get weaker when they bring on substitutes. And those substitutes come on with a fire as well, because they've got a point to prove, and it's such a battle to get in the first team that when you get a chance, you want to grab it.
The man of the match poll is open. I think it's a relatively obvious one. When you score a hat trick, you generally leave as man of the match. Likely to be Philip Goodram. We'll announce that in about 10 minutes time. You can vote on the Lou City app.
You can go for the man who had 3 assists for Philip Goodram.
That's a great point you make. Taylor Davila has ran the midfield here today. 3 assists. He's looked very impressive. It's flicked along. Here's Gleedle. Big touch out of his feet. Gleedle cuts it back. Serrano! What a save by Fernando Delgado.
Wow.
Still 4-1.
Wow, that is a good save. No wonder Ray Serrano is holding his head there. Sam Gleedle sets us up beautifully, but he hits it, and the young goalkeeper just gets a hand to that to tip it over the bar. It's a brilliant save from, 12, 13 yards out. Absolutely stunning save from the 18-year-old Fernando Delgado.
He also had that stop on the howitzer from Wilson that almost found the back of the net. He tipped it onto the bar. It's been a challenging one to make his season debut here today at Louisville. Whipped into the near post, and it was almost a carbon copy of the 4th goal for Lou City. This time it's last off Kyle Adams, out for a goal kick. Two more changes will take place here for Birmingham Legion. Ramiz Hamoda and Sam McIlhatton will be coming into the match. Making way will be Stephen Turnbull and Edwin Lazo. Changes presented by the Kentucky Lottery. McIlhatton was one of those players that started last match. He was one of the 3 changes. At the top, Kavita. Serrano just takes it away from him. Ray Serrano skips it along. Davila rolls it. McFadden to the back post. A vital header by Roof knocks it away. Louisville City are looking so lethal on the attack. Jake Morris takes over now. Morris to the end line. Drags it back. Picks out Gleedle. Oh, and he puts it off target. They're queuing up in Lou City colors. And on this instance, they can't test Fernando Delgado. It's a goal kick.
Sam Gleedle's got to do better with that chance if he wants to get a regular starting berth in that team. But what amazes me is a team that's 4-1 up, and they are still hunting for the 5th and the 6th goal. They're still pushing. They don't dare walk in, I guess, at the end of the game and taking it easy with Danny Cruz. And that's what they've created here. What Danny Cruz in particular has created here is this just constant search for perfection at USL level. And it just fires the team on. And they're not doing enough, Birmingham Legion, for me to cause trouble at the other end.
Here's Adrian Perez, Ray Serrano. McFadden wants it. Delgado will have to get there before McFadden. He can't. The wingback fires one in to the 18. Edge of the box, Davila. Well, he's assisted 3. He can't put that one on target. He slices the effort, and it's out of play. eFootball is here. You can live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. You can download it now.
Happy days for the boys in purple fans. They really have seen a treat here. By the way, of all the players to hit a ball from outside the box, Taylor Davila is the one I would put my money on it that he hits target, and he totally mishit that shot. But it's they're still putting pressure on at 4-1 up. That's what I really admire about this team. They don't let you off the hook.
Serrano loses out there.
That miss for Sam Gleedle, not a good one, because you know there's another player we haven't mentioned who's in the wings, not on the bench today, But a striker, I'll tell you more in a moment.
Claimed by loss.
I'll tell you now. Cam Lancaster's back for his third spell at the club. After being at Lancaster for a while. At Lexington for a while. Cam Lancaster's back, and maybe not as quick as he used to be, but if he gets a little stiff for 10 minutes, he could be a very valuable player for Danny Cruz in a crunch situation.
We got Brian Ownby as well. He's been recovering from that long-term injury. They want a handball, they won't get it. Trejo's the target. Trejo won't quite get there. Damian Lass, brilliant challenge from the goalkeeper.
He had to get that right, otherwise it could have been a red card because he was lunging in. But brilliant from Damian Lass.
That would have been an unfortunate end to the match for Louisville. They appear destined for all 3 points, but if they had to go their next game without their goalkeeper, who's played every minute, led the league in save percentage, joint lead in clean sheets entering the weekend, that would have been a source of slight frustration. The touch there, a challenge to keep it in play, and it runs out. The goal kick is the result.
Chance also to mention that Danny Cruz is very grateful, as we see Carlos Mogul come on, to Mark Briggs, because it was Mark Briggs who gave him his first coaching opportunity. He played for him in 2017 for Real Monarchs. And I love this quote. He said, "Briggs taught me how to manage people." And so he, beside the fact they are very good friends, he's always held Mark Briggs in huge regard, and very grateful to him for that.
Taylor Davila will make way. Carlos Mogul will come on for his 6th appearance of the season, 5th as a substitute. And not a bad day at the office for Taylor Davila. 3 assists. Makes it 5 assists on the season. Embraces with Danny Cruz. And he was full of appreciation for Mark Briggs. That first opportunity, it's so important. And he said, you know, if I don't get that first opportunity, who knows where I'm at now. And where he's at now, he's the reigning Coach of the Year winner. He set a club that really are just one of the leading sides in this competition. That's going to be a foul and a free kick. Referee deliberated for a moment. Jake Morris will try and talk his way out of anything beyond just a foul. The referee is going to say, hey, just calm it down a little. But it was great to see the mutual respect, and obviously it's very close these two head coaches are.
Danny Cruz, only 35 years of age, which makes you think that they're going to do, well, I believe they have done well to hold on to him for this season, but at some stage you get the sense that there's going to be an MLS opportunity.
There were some links in the offseason. It's always going to happen when you have a coach of his caliber. Backheel attempted there from Gleedle. So turn to Fernando Delgado.
He's done all right, the young goalkeeper.
I was gonna say you felt he's done.
I know it's a lot of goals to concede. Doesn't look good, does it? But I think he's done well. He's made a couple of wonderful reflex saves. He got caught a little bit at the corner, and that's what you learn as a young goalkeeper. You have to organize your box. You have to get players in front of you, and you have to know when you're going to come for the ball. And that just comes with time. But other than that, not much chance he had with the other goals. So I think it's a good debut all round for the young Fernando Delgado. And as we mentioned early on, with Matt Van Oekel around to help you, you've got a very experienced, very good keeper who can pass on a ton of knowledge.
Challenge put in by Patterson. Here's Martinez. The appearances in the Jägermeister Cup Delgado has, so not dropped in the deep end entirely this campaign, but it's his first championship appearance of the season, and not one that was originally planned here today. It's out for a throw-in.
Which is sometimes a good thing as a keeper.
Don't think about it too much.
If you told last night, oh, by the way, you're playing against Lou City, you don't get any sleep. But if you think, oh, Matt Van Oekel's playing, I'm on the bench, I'm just going to take in the scenery, and suddenly they go, hey, something's up with Matt, you're in. You haven't got time to worry, you haven't got time to think, and you've got this big first USL match out the way, and then why not just build from there for the young man?
It's played along. Adams, a good challenge from behind. Morris, he goes down. It's a clean challenge as the referee. It's out a throw-in for Birmingham. Trey Garthen throws it in. Here's Hernandez Foster. Patterson. Here's Roof. deflection here, and it rolls kindly for the Lou City goalkeeper.
A little bit lucky there, Lou City. That deflection could easily have run into Damas's path there, and it would have been 4-2. Not that it would have really affected the game, but just what a rare lazy moment.
It has been one of those days. Think about that deflection for Taylor Davila that fell perfectly for Goodram. That one spins a little away from Damas. Sometimes those small deflections really are the ones that decide matches, but this feels like it has been a comprehensive Lou City performance.
Well, there's a deflection in Birmingham's favor for the opening goal, so I guess
Indeed.
you know, it's worked both ways for both teams. Just that the advantage has been taken by Lou City and not by Birmingham. You go one up. Could they make it a second? Could they really put Lou City under pressure? And the answer was no. They haven't really had a chance since they had that goal scored.
You mentioned expected goals numbers, the duels that have been mostly won by Lou City. Stats pointing in the direction of the home side.
And maybe a stat that does sum it up in a way, touches in the opposition box, which gives you a sense of, have you penetrated past the sort of the edge, which right there they haven't done. So here's what they say: 23 touches in the opposition box for Lou City, 7 for Birmingham. So all this pretty play you see here, it doesn't mean anything, neither does the possession, because they haven't got into the box. And that's the bit I think Mark Briggs will probably be a little bit irritated with. Is if you want to hurt the opposition, this is the way you hurt them: get in the box and then tempt them into a penalty, or you know, maybe you get a shot the goalkeeper can't see. All this play around the edge, if there's no end product to it, it really doesn't mean much.
Hamuda going up against his opposite number, and Tosh wins that battle. This one forward, Gleedle, some hold-up play, not quite able to reach in and play it along to a teammate, and it's a free kick for the Birmingham Legion. And we can tell you about our man of the match winner. It's Philip Goodram.
Oh, there's a surprise. Didn't see that coming.
3 goals off the bench. This is a very dangerous Lou City team, and if he can get back to the numbers he had in 2022 with Memphis, 21 goals and 32 appearances, or in even 2023, 12 goals and 21 appearances for Tulsa, this is an even more dangerous side.
Well, he's going to do that. You know, given the service he gets from this team, it'd be very surprised if he doesn't finish right there near the top, if not the top, of the Golden Boot this year.
He's up to 6 goals now in the season, doubling his numbers in the championship. That was a Lou City lead. Aiden McFadden not quite able to latch on to that one. Lou City, they've got a trip to North Carolina coming up in their next match. They'll have ages to prepare for it in comparison to this week. 6 days between now and that match next Friday. They're poised to complete a 9-point week. And when Charleston eked out a narrow win over Hartford earlier today, they've maintained that 3-point edge at the top of the Eastern Conference. It's like we're set up for another race between Charleston and Louisville. These points, these performances, so important at this stage of the season. There's Roof. Picks out Trejo. Dangerous ball. Flag stays down. Damas. Martinez the target. What a challenge from Kyle Adams. Recovering and knocking it out for a corner kick.
And they hold themselves to such a high standard that even in these dying moments, they're throwing their bodies at this Lou City. Let's see if Birmingham can get a second goal, just to put some little gloss on this defeat.
In swinger, knocked away by Tosh. Trejo drives one in, and it creeps home. Back-to-back games, Lou City concede an own goal. This time, it's the substitute, it appears Carlos Mogel just gets caught unawares there. And it's Birmingham who get another one back in the 90th minute.
Oh, that's tough for Carlos Mogal. I can only assume he didn't see the ball. There was someone in front of him. It's a well whipped in ball, but it's a bad own goal to give away in that there was no Birmingham Legion shirt even close to heading that in. And I was just saying that it would look better, but I meant it would look better if they scored a good goal, because the scoreline, yes, looks better, but it's an own goal plus a deflected goal. It doesn't make you feel as a, you know, as a coach that your team has really had chances, because they haven't. They've just been very fortunate on the day.
That means their expected goals number will be 0.28, and they'll have mustered 2 goals from that.
Tough for Carlos Mogal to come onto the pitch, and you want to make an impression as a sub, and that's the impression you make, but it's not really his fault. I'm sure there were players in front of him, he couldn't see the ball, and it just hits him on the head.
Referee indicating on multiple occasions that players have crossed halfway too soon. So Birmingham, there's, you know, a half chance if they can score another one, but it definitely feels like that's just a late consolation and nothing more. Gleedle, there's McFadden.
I think it shows you why it's important to keep it tight at the back, as we just watch this.
Here's Mogal, drives it across, trying to re-establish the 3-goal edge for Lou City. Just not able to find someone there on the attacking end.
So just to finish that point, if they'd have slacked off Lou City and it was already 4-2 and that own goal goes in, then it's 4-3 and then you're battling. But they have fought to not give Birmingham anything.
Yeah.
And because of that, when something unlucky happens, they've still got a 2-goal cushion.
They're coming off a match against Rhode Island where the only goal was a Kyle Adams own goal. What is the defensive assessment here for Danny Cruz when the 2 goals you've conceded here today are a deflected effort from 30 yards and then an own goal in the 90th minute?
That's just unlucky. I don't think it's anything more than that. The deflected goal is, you know, you can't stop that happening. You can maybe try and stop the shot from outside the box, but and that own goal there, Carlos Mogal, again, I'm not quite sure how it happened, but he probably was blinded and couldn't see it. It's just bad luck. So as a coach, I don't think you worry too much about those sort of things. You worry more what your team has done, and I think they've done a really good job today, Lou City, in every sense of the word.
Gleedle, final seconds of our match, pokes it out wide, aiming for McFadden. Moda gets a foot in, and it rolls out for a throw. This matches the season high in terms of goals for Lou City in a match. It's the most they have in a championship game. They scored 4 in a 4-1 win over the Richmond Kickers in the first Jägermeister Cup match. It's the highest scoring game they've seen this season. Tosh trying to skip past Martinez.
Got the nutmeg there, didn't he?
Ends in a goal kick, but he does get the nutmeg.
I'll take the nutmeg. Who cares about the goal kick?
He'll cut the clip right after it goes between his legs.
Exactly.
So a bit more time being added on after the delays following the Birmingham goal that made it 4-2. We're past the minimum of 3. There's a free kick for the Legion. Maybe a chance to toss some numbers forward if they want to. They'll opt to restart it quickly. Here's Hernandez Foster. All eyes will be on Mark Verso when he calls this match to a conclusion. Poked along to Damas. Gets it onto his left. And puts the shot off target.
That's much better from Birmingham. They get in the box. They get a shot. Yes, it goes over. Not too far away. They just, again, their touches in the opposition box, just 8. They have the same number or very similar number of final third entries, so they're getting in the final third of Lou City's box, but not in, sorry, of their heart, the final third of the pitch, but not getting into the box, and that's absolutely crucial.
13 straight unbeaten to start the campaign for Lou City. They win it here today, 4-2 over the Birmingham Legion. Longest undefeated start to a season in club history.
Fantastic, dominated, even when they were 1-0 down, they didn't panic. Philip Goodram, fantastic day for him with 3 goals. and just controlled the game. And even though they conceded an own goal and a deflected goal, they still were by far the better side. They were just unlucky a little bit, Lou City. Birmingham Legion, lots of work from Art Briggs to do, but I think this match would have shown him those players who can fight, to those players who can't, and those players that maybe can improve. But Philip Goodram, I think he'll get all the headlines.
3 goals for him. Let's take a look at tonight's move of the game. He scored 3, and it started in the 30th minute of the contest. This is moments after the equalizer. Just makes a great run and puts home a good finish.
Times the run perfectly to beat the offside trap, and then when he gets there, just sees the goalkeeper take a stance with legs wide apart, puts it right through the middle there to tuck that into the back of the net.
First goal on the day for Philip Goodram. He'd add on 2 more. Lou City win 4-2, and with that win, you can head to Penn Station and get a free sub with the purchase of another. The offer is valid the following day after a win. Head to any participating Louisville area Penn Station location to redeem and say Lou City won at checkout, or use promo code LouBogo25 online. Let's take one last break. On the other side, we can look at our full-time highlights. A thrilling win. Lou City take it at home, 4-2.
Power up your summer fun with the power of choice. Toyota's lineup offers the most electrified hybrid and all-wheel drive choices out there, like the best-selling Tacoma with up to 326 horsepower and the built-in the USA Tundra. Now get 2.99 APR financing on a new 25 Tundra or the last of the 24 Tacomas, or lease this new 25 Tacoma SR5 for just $289 a month. That's the power of choice. Toyota. Let's go places.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings with over $600 in digital coupons each week, plus up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Ready to upgrade your air for less? Durr does that. Right now, get a new water heater for free when you upgrade your heating and cooling system. Saving you money, just another reason A+ Durr is your call for comfort.
That is your full-time score. Louisville City 4, Birmingham Legion 2. 3 goals for that man, Philip Goodram. Not a bad day at the office for those in Louisville colors. Jack Edwards and Gary Bailey here with you to round out our broadcast. We can look at all of the goals. There were 6 of them. Got good value for our money for this match here today. It was a start that was pretty good for Birmingham. Edwin Lazo gets it out of his feet here, and a shot deflects off the face of Ronaldo Damas. He gets the goal.
Yeah, and it's such a deflection that the poor Damien Luss has no chance. He's totally wrong-footed, and that ball flies into the back of the net, and it took a little while for Lou City to get there. But Ray Serrano, a quick one, and then it's just crazy what is happening there in defense. Eric Centeno, he doesn't even know that Amadou Dia's there, and Amadou Dia toe pokes it over the line.
30th minute, just 63 seconds separating these 2 goals. This was your move of the match. A brilliant ball forward for the first for Goodram.
He beats the offside trap, which is crucial, and once he gets behind them, lovely ball from Taylor Davila. Just sticks through the goalkeeper's legs. Not much the young kid can do about it in goals. Just shows you how good they are, Lou City. They get one, they're immediately looking to get another.
So Taylor Davila to Philip Goodram, part 1. Let's look at part 2. Just a big block on this one. It falls to Goodram. Good finish.
It is a good finish because he's brave. He gets there ahead of the goalkeeper, ahead of the centre-back. Taylor Davila does well just to block it. But he's got the sense, Philip Goodram, of where the danger is, and he's not afraid to slide in there and get his foot on the end of it.
Here's part 3. This time it's a corner, an in-swinger from Davila. There's the hat-trick.
Yeah, maybe the young goalkeeper caught a little bit out here, but he gets a good position here. He out-jumps Ronaldo Damas, who's marking him, and then the keeper can't get there. And that was pre-planned, I think, by the attacking coach or the set-piece coach, because they really just got in front of the young goalkeeper and Good finish from Philip Goodram.
And late on in the match, rather awkward moment. It just gets driven into the box. Carlos Mogel, the substitute, doesn't know much about it, and it makes it 4-2.
Yeah, it sort of comes off his body there. There's bodies in front of him, but he perhaps blocked the ball. Sean Tosh helps him up. A little bit embarrassing, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really count.
Here are your full-time stats. 4-2 edge and shots. A lot more possession for Birmingham. Your final thoughts from the match, Gary?
Yeah, they didn't get into the box much. The possession doesn't mean much. The shots on target weren't really that testing for Damian Luss. The big stat for me is the one we mentioned a few times. Did they get into the box? And the answer is no. They had about a third to a quarter of the occasions to get into Lou City's box, and that's where generally the goals come from. So for me, Lou City on top for most of this game. They had it under control. Birmingham Legion showing signs under Mark Briggs of coming right, but again, I think Mark Briggs can see the gap today between his side and the team that are top in the East.
A lot of respect between these two coaches. It's Danny Cruz's group who take all 3 points. They're next up at North Carolina in the USL Championship. A midweek meeting with the Sacramento Republic is up next at home for the Birmingham Legion. It was a match full of action on both ends of the field. Birmingham scored first, and that bookended 4 goals for Lou City, a hat trick for Goodram. My broadcast partner Gary Bailey and our entire crew, Jack Edwards saying so long from Louisville. Our final score, Lou City 4, Birmingham 2.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.